I want to make it very clear. I am not a news journalist here. I just wanted to find something to yap about. So that is what we will be talking about for today's video. Spirit Airlines. An airlines company, Spirit Airlines, just shut down this morning around 3 a.m. EST. That means that's 12 a.m. EST. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard the news already, and I guess I should probably talk about it and tell you all what exactly is the reasoning, why this happened. And I think the reasoning is crazy. Though, because this just happened, and I'm still kind of like tired, I just woke up. I did a speed run of the research, and I think it's baffling. So let's just start from the very beginning. I've only flown Spirit Airlines for like once going to Las Vegas. But after I flew to Las Vegas on Spirit Airlines, a lot of people have been complaining about how it's a horrible airline company because they keep canceling flights. And like their prices are very low, though the quality of their comfort in travel is bad. And now they have gone bankrupt because a White House proposal was made by the Trump administration that they would provide a $500 million cash infusion in exchange for 90% equity. It doesn't say here because it says significant potential stake. I just searched up exactly what that was. It is a 90% equity. Brother, you might as well just sell the company at that place, because why the heck would you get $500 million for... Because here's the thing. Let's do a little history lesson here. Spirit Airlines was losing a lot of money around 2020. Why do you think that is? COVID. COVID has made a lot of the airlines, a lot of airport industries lose tons of money because people had to be quarantined. But with Spirit Airlines, they've always been losing money, like regardless of like the pandemic. Like they just haven't been making much money as usual, and they had to owe a lot of money to other corporations through bonds and whatever, like the New York Times and whatnot. They just haven't been doing well financially. And now, to save their airline company from collapsing, the White House administration, they wanted to give them a good amount of money. Like, hey, we're going to save your company, but you got to fork over basically 90% of the profits. And I don't know if this is like confirmed, maybe this is speculation, but it seems like that 90% equity was supposed to secure taxpayer investment and protect jobs, obviously the people at Spirit Airlines. And also utilizing that profit for the government for whatever things. Which I can see why, like, don't get me wrong, like, I'm not, like, too involved in or too educated on politics. I used to, like, do, like, rants about it here and there. Not a big fan of the Trump administration, but that's besides the point. I can see why a government would do that, to kind of be, hey, scratch your back, I'll scratch yours kind of thing. Like, I could see a deal like that would, make sense. But 90% equity is crazy, because they are already in debt. There's really no point for them to go down this road of losing more money. Like, $500 million doesn't sound like, that sounds like big money, right? No, they owe like billions. They own billions in debt right now. And with the whole thing about oil prices going crazy, it wasn't possible for them to continue business in the first place. So at that point, all the money that they've made would have just went to the government, if that is how I'm interpreting this correctly. I'm not, again, I want this to be very clear. I am not, a news journalist or whatever telling you what's going on. This is just what I am hearing. All I'm trying to say is Spirit Airlines is shutting down, and I think the Trump administration asking for 90% equity from their business is horrendous. I don't know how that deal could go well. Like, they've already lost so much money, and you're only giving them a chunk of it. And also, if I remember, like around last year-ish, or maybe 2 years ago, they were supposed to merge with JetBlue to collab businesses. So basically, JetBlue was supposed to acquire Spirit Airlines. It's basically like another airline company, whatever. They were supposed to take Spirit Airlines, but the merger canceled because one of the judges ruled that it was violating a anti-monopoly act where it's called the Clayton Act, I believe. And that's like to prevent like companies like making monopolies and whatnot, which again, this is kind of like what the Trump administration is doing. Like if I remember, I keep saying if I remember, because even though I do clearly remember, but I don't know exactly if it's like word for word. Trump wanted to get the Warner Bros. Or he wanted to be involved with the Warner Bros. And Netflix buying whatever. Or Netflix wanted to buy Warner Bros. And that was already like a big deal because people didn't want their favorite franchises to be only streaming exclusive. For example, the DCU, that's already been beginning, and that's supposed to be like something we should see in theaters. You know, we want to see Supergirl and Superman in the big screen here, but if Netflix were to acquire Warner Bros., we would not have been able to. I'm on a side rant, but this is another monopoly issue that happened back then, and they were just like, scrap that idea. We're gonna stay in our own lanes here. Oh yeah, you're probably wondering what happened to the Spirit passengers who were supposed to fly until they found out it was shut down. Well, it says here, since all flights have been canceled, the line's customer service was no longer available, so they had to rebook themselves on other airlines. I'm assuming they get their refund. I would hope they get their refund. That would be crazy. In fact, they probably have to get their refund because that would be illegal. That would be, you know, a lawsuit right there. But what a shame, Spirit Airlines. I used to fly with y'all. Didn't have a bad experience, but you guys were cool, I guess. I mean, I remember the flight crew had the sense of humor, but maybe they got a little too goofy with the money and their financial decisions that they had to just go bye-bye. That's all for the news today. I don't think I'll ever make a video like this ever again. This was something that just caught me, and I just thought, why as well talk about what the heck is going on here. That's all. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.